Good evening, you're watching Plain Speak with me, Poonam Burde. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. The December 4th Stampede at Hyderabad Sandhya Theatre has turned actor Allu Arjun's life upside down. The Telugu superstar finds himself in an unexpected standoff with the state government. The postscript of his arrest, his eventual bail, the accusation of callousness, the vandalism at his residence over the weekend, and a marathon questioning by the police today is nothing short of a film in itself. The actor's alleged character assassination, as those are his words, in the aftermath of his unfortunate tragedy. The state on its part, of course, says that they are just following the rule of law. There is going to be no special treatment on the account that he's a celebrity. But is the police unfairly targeting Allu Arjun because he's a celebrity? Though that's a question many are asking. That perhaps the state government and the police wants to send out a message, send out a stance that even the powerful will have to face the law. But in doing so, are they pushing the envelope one step too many far? Questions are being raised about the police's conduct. Many have accused the state of being high-handed. Is the actor being targeted for not coming out in support of the Congress openly? Is he being made to pay for his family's connections? Those are questions that are being asked as well. But there are several twists and turns that this entire saga has taken. There's CCTV footage from December 4th that was released by the police today, a video that's under investigation, but it raises several questions for both sides. To Allu Arjun's team, there is a question that is now coming to the fore of whether there was any collaboration, any coordination before the actor's arrival to Sandhya Theatre with the police. To the police, we want to ask is where were the cops when the gates were opened to Sandhya Theatre? You can see the kind of crowd that tried to barge in that CCTV footage, but what you cannot see is one person in uniform, any policeman, nobody around them. Another question for Allu Arjun's team was, why did the actor stay for at least 2 hours after the stampede? Now the police says that he was informed that there was a stampede that was taking place, there was one life that was lost, and yet he chose to be inside. Allu Arjun on his part has said that I wasn't even told about it, and the news of the death only came to me the next day. The question to the police is also that where were the police when the victim was being carried out? There is another CCTV footage that's been released by the police themselves, where you can see people exiting from that particular entrance with 3 people carrying a woman that's unconscious, the victim in this particular case. Again, who do you not see? The police in this case. Why did the bouncers or the personal security guards of Allu Arjun use force against these fans who were trying to enter? You can see one of the bouncers who's now in custody, John Anthony. He is seen wielding a stick and hitting people trying to push them back. But if he was doing so and now he is arrested, the question we want to ask is, why was he only arrested so many days later? It's been 20 days since the actual incident. Allu Arjun was arrested before that. He's been released on bail. He's been questioned. But only today, after 20 days of investigation, the police has finally gone on to take this man into custody. Now, Allu Arjun was questioned for 4 hours today by the Hyderabad police. He perhaps will be taken to the Sandhya Theatre tomorrow. A recreation will probably happen of what exactly happened on that fateful day. But here's what the cops asked him today. Whether the actor was informed of Revati's death, and if he was, then when exactly did that happen? Because the state government has been maintaining that they were informed about this person's death to the manager of Allu Arjun, who eventually went inside the theatre and informed him, a charge that Allu Arjun denies. Another question that was asked during this marathon quizzing by the police today was that did the theatre tell him of a denial of police permission at all? The police says that the theatre owners knew that Allu Arjun was denied permission to come there that day, knowing that there was going to be a security concern, and yet he came there. Did Sandhya Theatre management inform Allu Arjun's team or not was another question that was asked to him. What was the basis of his claims that he made in the press conference on Saturday? Remember, it was an impromptu press conference that Allu Arjun addressed. He made several allegations against the state government. He also went on to say that my credibility of over 2 decades has been sabotaged in just one day. This is nothing but character assassination, is what was asked, is what he had alleged back then as well. Now, the Congress government under Revanth Reddy faces questions of a witch hunt against Allu Arjun. There is a reason to that, many believe. Some believe there is no argument. But the recent developments make us believe that there at least could be a pattern. The timing of it definitely is suspect. Allu Arjun was grilled by the Hyderabad police today, like I said. This was 10 days after he was arrested and eventually released by the High Court on bail because there was no merit that was found in the police's case. He was questioned in response to his claims that he made in that press conference over this past weekend. But while we have the Chief Minister making certain claims in the Assembly, why is the actor not allowed to do so? A Congress leader, on the other hand, now has filed a complaint over a scene in the latest flick, Pushpa 2. The Congress MLC alleged that there is one scene in the film that shows police in a negative light and it's an insult to the law enforcement agencies. He wants action to be taken or that scene to be removed from the film altogether. A minister in Telangana has now questioned the national award that was given to Pushpa. Citing bias against film with social messages, this minister went on to ask that we have better films that could have been given a national award. But why was this film, which promotes smuggling or shows smuggling, why was that awarded with a national award? So the timing of it, like I said, is all suspect. So the Congress may come out and say that it is the rule of law that reigns supreme, but questions are being asked if this is merely a witch hunt by the state government.
Boxer Anthony, who has been arrested, is likely to be taken. Allu Arjun was questioned precisely for 3.5 hours. He arrived here at 11:05. The line of questioning is pretty similar to what we had put out. In fact, he was confronted with the CCTV footage and shown data. They were asked him details like when was it that he got to know about the Stampede, when was it that he was informed about Revati, the woman who died at the Stampede.
It is deliberately insulting the police or cops, some security officers who are working for the people. So that is very objectionable. I went to the police station and given complaint to the Rajkunda police.
ఒక స్మగ్లర్ పాత్రలో ఉండేటువంటి ఒక స్మగ్లింగ్ చేసేటువంటి హీరోలు పోలీస్ అధికారులను పోలీస్ స్టేషన్లలో బయట కట్టని ప్లేస్ నిలబెట్టి యథేచ్ఛగా స్మగ్లింగ్ చేసేటువంటి సినిమాలకు మాత్రం కేంద్రం నుంచి అవార్డు వస్తుంది.
Let's open this up. Rachna Reddy, spokesperson of Telangana BJP, Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress, and B. Redana, former IPS officer, joins us on this broadcast. Nikul Patel, let me begin by asking you. The timing of it all does seem suspect as far as the investigation against Allu Arjun goes. Do you think there is any merit in your political rivals claiming that there is in fact a pattern of witch hunt or vendetta by the state government?
See, I would like to say that there is nothing like political vendetta or anything we are having conflict with Allu Arjun. Actually, somebody had filed a complaint as a citizen of our country and the government is pursuing its job. Whatever investigation is happening is a transparent investigation and everyone can see what is happening there. It's only Bharatiya Janata Party and other political rivals want to defame the government over there. We are taking a due course of action and definitely whoever will be offensible will be punished. We know that whenever any security law and order issues are there, if the police is denying the permission, then it's a responsibility of the private management to look into it. And definitely if they have a failure, then it's their responsibility. Ultimately, a death of a citizen had happened and the complainant had put the name of Allu Arjun in the complaint and that is why the court had summoned. If Allu Arjun was so sympathetic over them, then he must have reached on the next day once he realized that there is someone death happened into the theatre due to his visit to the theatre.
But the timing of it is all suspect, isn't it? Which is why this vendetta allegation is coming to the fore, Nikul Patel. He was arrested on the 13th, released a day later because there was some delay as far as paperwork was concerned. 10 days later is when the police have called him for questioning. 2 days after, he did a press conference claiming character assassination. Why was he not called for questioning all these days?
See, if you see the entire episode that happened, it happened on 4th, then it was a court who summoned Allu Arjun and the government had done his job. Then he was given a bail. The fresh investigation had lead to the finding of what happened and what not. Then that is what lead to the police to summon him and ask him that what we want to investigate what happened on that day. And as a citizen of the country, it is his responsibility to come to the police station and answer all the questions, whatever is there to help the investigation happen and to find the culprit who is responsible for the entire event and ultimately death of a woman, what happened at that theatre.
Rachna Reddy, this is just law taking its own course. Why should a long rope be given to Allu Arjun? Because he is a celebrity. That's the allegation that the state makes.
Here is the thing, the law taken, and I'm also a lawyer. So the law taking its own course is when the complainant, the complainant was the husband of the dead woman Revati. He filed a complaint. Now the law taking its own course is when after the investigation, they see the sections there are non-bailable sections. So you don't need to give a notice and you can arrest. There was an arrest. Then in the honorable courts an interim bail was given based on the fact that the aspect of his involvement, or rather the lack of intention but the negligence of that entire situation, is for the trial to be decided, and hence for the time being we are going to grant him bail. So as part of that investigation, calling him to the police station for investigation, or having the crime scene analysis, or rather the crime scene to be sketched again tomorrow, is not uncommon in law. What is uncommon is Revant Reddy spending more than half the day on the last day of the assembly just talking about this case. And then what is uncommon is another MLC filing another case today based on the fact that there was some offensive scene against the law enforcement in the movie Now. And then another minister of the Congress talking about who is she to decide about which movie is to be given a national award to or not? All of this is what the Revant Reddy government is doing just to hide their administrative failures. You know what is happening in Telangana? A Nautanki. One Nautanki goes on to the next Nautanki. So, one eventful news cycle spins off into another eventful news cycle. So, this news cycle, because see, in Telangana, recently, an ST girl in a Gurukul, in a government residential a school, suffered food poisoning and she's dead. Nothing about it. No investigation that doesn't talk about her. Nothing. Then, in the chief minister's own constituency, Kodangal, a woman commits suicide, naming the chief minister and the chief minister's brothers, their family, as the reason for her suicide. Okay, we are not going to take it on the face of it that the chief minister or their family is directly responsible. But at least inform us about the investigation. That is what a good administrator does. Be transparent about it, because you and your family are involved. I'm not saying not to investigate into Allu Arjun's case. I'm not saying a courtroom, a crime scene analysis or an investigation of Allu Arjun, or rather questioning him, is not called for.
So the kind of alacrity that is being shown is not in this case, is not being shown in other cases. Veera Danna, do you agree that there seems to be a certain kind of alacrity shown in this case when several other cases would not get the same kind of attention, just because here there's a celebrity that's involved, there's the media following the story for the longest time?
No. See, I know, I can tell you the procedure. That much. I am not the investigation agency directly. I worked for 38 years in police department. I can tell you the procedures, how it has to be. See, any police station will regularly get not less than 20 to 200 requisitions for granting permission for on various occasions. Police department will take it and ask the concerned person to show who is all coming, is the venue is accommodative for the people who are coming, what are the procedures you are following, what are the means and other things you are following there, and who is this officer who is VIP who is coming there, what is his security responsibility, are they having any security, personal security, is he having any threats from Naxalites and other organizations, and so on. If it is a stage, if the stage is good equipped, and electricity, he has to take permission from electricity department. With all that, if they want any security from the police department, they have to pay challan for each constable, something like 65 rupees, head constable for 85 rupees, and a SI for 105 or something like that. And they have to take a written permission from the police station. Then only you are granted to take permission from the police department. Otherwise, if somebody gives an application, that doesn't mean that you are granted permission. That is one thing. Suppose if you are coming on a procession, if it is a public place, then you have to inform in advance, and from where to where you are coming, because it happens to be in a big place, they where 10 to 11 theatres are there. Our actor is having good fan following. So basing on that, they are supposed to theatre people has to take prior permission and also apprise it the same thing to the actor. That should have been in a better way. I don't know whether he has informed or not. We don't know, because
so is there lack of communication in this particular case, lack of preparedness, you would say, because this video that was put out by the state government themselves today also shows how there was this crowd
that take a written permission.
Sure. So that permission was there or not, we don't know yet, because there is a letter that's in public domain that asked for this permission. Whether that permission was given or no, if yes, then why has the state government not put that out? That's a question that's being asked as well. But Mr. Redden, I also want to ask you, these visuals that have come to the fore, it's a CCTV footage that has been released by the cops themselves, in which you can see one of the security private security personnel of the actor wielding a stick and trying to push back these people who barged into the theatre when the gates were open. But where was the police? Why was this happening? And if this was on CCTV, this happened on the 4th of December, then why was that man only arrested today?
No, I'll tell you, because the police has to collect the entire evidence, then only they have to lay hands. Otherwise, tomorrow anybody can blame, because he is an actor's gentleman, that's why you have arrested him. See, this security personnel, private security personnel are doing all kinds of nonsense. They are being arrested in earlier cases also, because they are not trained. They think that they are the highest powerful police officers because they are protecting VIP. They are thinking like that. Their duty is to protect the VIP from others, not to threaten others, not to beat others, not to push others, doing inconvenience to the public. They kept for the purpose of to safeguard the VIP. Leaving that, they are doing all kinds of atrocities. You have seen many other things also, many other professions also, it is happening. They are not trained, they were not given permission. How can they behave like this? The case should be registered. There are so many occasions where cases were registered against the gunmen, private gunmen, arrested them and seized their weapons, because they were not trained. Suppose if a old man is standing there, if he push, if he falls down on the back, he will die immediately. So he should be properly trained to protect the VIP.
Sure, this just further goes on to show how there was lack of coordination between the theatre management, between Allu Arjun's team and between the local administration there, who eventually were present. We did see police women trying to conduct CPR on the victim who unfortunately passed away. But Rachna Reddy, as far as this entire case goes, we have one Congress leader after another coming out and making certain statements, which is why also, like I said, the timing seems to be all suspect. One of the ministers in the state came out and said that why give a national award to a film like this. Another MLA came out and said that we will boycott his films if he does not face the law. These kind of commentary that comes to the fore from the Congress, is that warranted?
Actually, it is not, because here is the thing, ma'am. I agree with Mr. Redden because I'm a lawyer as well. The fact of the investigation and the fact that several arrests will be made at different points of time, including Allu Arjun's was made, I think, about a week or 10 days after the fact of the incident. Yes, arrests are made as and when evidences are cleared and prima facie cases established. Having said that, the fact of investigation, the fact of filing of a charge sheet or a trial or the case of a criminal analysis of the entire scene of the crime is part of what the law enforcement does. Now, here the ministers and MLC, today an MLC filed a case on one particular scene that apparently is offensive and that the cops have to find offense with it. He filed a case on that. And then there is a minister who has a lot of work of herself to do as far as her own ministry is concerned, and is not, and no work is happening here in Telangana. She comes out and states that why should Pushpa be given national award? See, having we are not stating here that a celebrity should be treated differently from a common man. It's good, thank God, that the law in this country works the same for a celebrity or a common man. But let it be, let the law take its course. Why is, like, day before yesterday, the day Allu Arjun spoke in a news conference or in a press conference, which he ought not to have done. I mean, he should not have spoken when he is an accused, A11 in a case. That's not done, because every single syllable is going to be used against him in a charge sheet, in a trial, in a court of law. And they have a right to do that.
But if there are no conditions that have been set, if there are no conditions that have been set by the court when his bail was given that he should not be speaking about his case, many would argue that he too is well within his rights to say what he wants.
That's not how the legal system works. I mean, the conditional bail, based on what conditions were there in his bail, etc. Even then, not speaking to the press. See, when a matter is sub judice in front of the courts, speaking to the press means trying to swerve an opinion one way or the other.
Sure.
Trying to state, or rather trying to plant your version into the media, or rather into the public perception.
Sure, so is that something that can go against him even when the legal battle goes from here on? But Nikul Patel, as far as the state government and the police is concerned, questions of callousness, questions of high-handedness are being raised with the police as well. But if those allegations are being raised, are they being probed? The police can't be probing themselves now, can they?
See, if you see the sections imposed on Allu Arjun is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 105 and 118/1. Both have a serious implications on imprisonment, and that is why the proper and thorough investigation has to be done. Otherwise, this Bharatiya Janata Party will say that these people are vindictive and they want to do such things. I would like to just say, and I appreciate our fellow panelist that he said what is the procedure. Asking permission doesn't mean that you are granted. As what happened in Uttar Pradesh, Bharatiya Janata Party government didn't allow Rahul Gandhi to visit Sambal. They have restricted themselves there. It was the Rahul Gandhi was visiting, but Allu Arjun had visited without getting the permission, and definitely it is a private property, and private property is not the responsibility of the government. Firstly, what I think and what I believe as the law, what I feel. Secondly, if Allu Arjun is a celebrity, it is his own responsibility to carry out the activity in his own way, and he must be very much sensible what is happening and how it is happening. Bharatiya Janata Party wants to create a mesh. We are not vindictive. We are only following the due procedure as per what the court is giving the guideline. And definitely the law is supreme in the country and everyone has to follow it. For investigation, if Allu Arjun has to come to the police station, I think Bharatiya Janata Party must not have any problem.
So law will take its own course, celebrity or not, action will have to be taken, but questions are being raised of the state government, and like I said, there seems to be a pattern. On a lighter note, as far as the film is concerned, the character that Allu Arjun plays is in the film seen wanting to topple a state government. Many would say that's the postscript that's playing out as far as Telangana is concerned. Is that why we're seeing this kind of alacrity in the investigation? But I have to leave it there. I thank you all for joining us here on this edition of Plain Speak.